I'm going to be honest with you guys, I lead a rather boring life. But that's not to say that it's not a content life. In fact, I get an awful lot of enjoyment from doing what I do, particularly when it comes to being a house husband and stay-at-home father to my 2 children. What I mean is my life isn't as exciting as my social media might sometimes have you believe. You see, we so often see the world around us through the eyes of a lens, whether it be videos on YouTube or photos posted on sites such as Instagram or Facebook. And although I too am guilty of pushing this hype up reality on my own profiles, the truth is that I lead a very mundane life. Now, it may look like that I have it all figured out when I post on Instagram and YouTube showing off my latest acquisition and finds, but trust me when I say this is not how my life plays out on the daily. In fact, most of the time, I am not out and about hunting for toys and comics, but instead I am just at home, usually doing household chores and fatherly duties. And YouTube, if you can actually believe it, is a very small part of my life. In fact, when I do have some free time to myself, instead of creating YouTube videos, I often opt to either read a book, do some amateur photography, or sit in the garden with a fire burning. And you know what? To me, this is my idea of a good time. And though to the outside world this might seem a bit dull, boring, or lonesome, for me this is just heaven. This is perfect. So, why am I making this video? Well, in all honesty, I don't really know. Maybe it's because after almost 6 years alone at home, this is my only real outlet to the world. I mean, sure, I have a handful of friends that I see a couple of times a month, but sometimes I think they too only see the me that I put out into the world via social media. This world through a lens which depicts a world of constant adventure. And although all this is still very real and authentic, these little snippets from one's life can quickly paint the wrong image of you as a person to those whom only know you in this way. Scrolling through the feeds on my phone, I all too often see other creators in the YouTube and Instagram space gaining thousands of views with every upload, constantly chasing the newest items in stores or venturing out to see the latest movie in theatres, all in order to review it for their ever-growing audience. But for me, well, in all honesty, that's just not something I can compete with. That's not me. You see, being creators on YouTube, we all too often have a tendency to portray our lives to be more exciting than they really are. And those more successful YouTubes that I have mentioned, well, they always seem to be moving. They are constantly on the go, always busy, out and about, spending money and meeting new people and fueling their brand with content so as to remain relevant. And, in all honesty, I'd be lying if I said that at times I haven't been attracted to all that. After all, who wouldn't be? It's like the dream job. But the truth is, I do YouTube not to compete with others and to be the best on the platform, but instead because I enjoy the process of filmmaking itself. YouTube is a hobby to me, and I don't ever want that to feel like it has become work. Now obviously that's not to say that I wouldn't love to make money from this hobby. I absolutely would. And I did actually reach monetization here earlier this year, so all that isn't really out of the realms of possibility. But it has to be organic. It has to be because an audience has formed around what it is that I like to do and what I like to create, not just because I'm chasing the latest video trend. Seeing others do this on the platform does often leave me craving the same success, and I have to tell you FOMO is definitely a real thing. But when I think of all that I would have to do in order to achieve these same results, knowing full well that it's not really me, I instead choose not to sacrifice myself for the sake of how others might perceive me. I have a strong group of friends here on the YouTube platform whom I have been lucky enough to meet in person, and I can't praise their channels and content enough. They are doing great things and no doubt will go far. But for me, at this specific time within my life, I am comfortable with this so-called boring life. I have grown to love this slow and relaxing pace in which my life moves, and I love that I not only have time to aid and assist my family as they progress with their endeavours, but also that I have time to work on my own. Honestly guys, I have learnt so much about myself during this time at home, and I really do feel like I'm becoming the person that I always intended to be. I'm happy. Thanks for watching.